Ladies and gentlemen, our program is about to begin.
Senior Letter Winners Dinner. For over 50 years, it's where Harvard Athletics and the Harvard Varsity Club honor its graduating student athletes, men and women who have done extraordinary things while wearing the crimson. Tonight, we thank the class of 2024 as they enter into the alumni community of the Harvard Varsity Club, your team for life. Welcome to the Senior Letter Winners Dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our MC, a Desert Storm veteran and a member of the class of 1988. Now a stand-up comedian and radio TV show host, James P. Connolly.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome to the 2024 Senior Letter Winners Dinner. There you go. Seniors, in less than 24 hours, you will be graduates of Harvard University. And parents, in less than 24 hours, you have to come up with a solid plan to prevent these people from moving back into your house. Well, welcome, everybody. My name is James P. Connolly. I'll be your host. I'll be your master of ceremonies here. I am a graduate of Harvard University from the mighty class of 1988. Thank you, that table right there. I appreciate that. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed your time here. It's a really special time. You get to spend in Cambridge and Boston. I love coming back here and reconnecting. It's always a lot of fun. It brings back great memories. As a matter of fact, last summer, my young son wanted to come and see Harvard University for the very first time. I took my son here last summer, 13, wanted to walk the Harvard campus, wanted to go to Boston, and he had one wish. He wanted to go to Fenway Park. My son wanted to go to Fenway Park. I took him to Fenway Park to see the Boston Red Sox play the New York Yankees. I'll tell you what, if you're a baseball fan, even if you're not a baseball fan, there is no better way to introduce your child to human hatred than to go to that game. Because sports fans are so loyal, it's intense. Like, you got a team, that's your team, right? You get one life, you get one team, that is your team. And your team could suck. And a sport fan will pay money to watch that team suck just for themselves. I wish I had comedy fans that loyal. Dedicated. You guys come back out next time you see me with your faces painted to look like me. Somebody said, who's your comedian? You're going to say, James P. Connolly. Someone says, is he funny? You go, well, not this year, but next year. Now, I know a lot of you, my young friends, you got your whole futures ahead of you, a lot of different plans after college. When I graduated, I went into the United States Marine Corps. That was my first job after college. And, oh, well, okay. First of all, thank you, because usually when I tell people that I used to be in the Marine Corps, they tend to stare at me like, look, man, don't take this the wrong way, but you don't look anything like a Marine. Well, of course I don't look like a Marine, because that is exactly what the enemy would be expecting me to look like. This is my camouflage, middle-aged man with love handles. That's my camouflage. But you don't get out of the Marines in the audience. Any Marines out there? Oh, Semper Fi, my brother, Semper Fi. But you know better than me, right? You never get out of the Marine Corps, do you? No, you do not, because we have that saying for the rest of our lives. Once a Marine, always a Marine, which seems a bit much when you get older. The other services don't do that. Do you know what the Navy's motto is? Once a sailor, not anymore, very normal. The crazy thing is, I went to college on a Marine Corps scholarship. The Marine Corps was my student loan. So when I hear young people go, oh, my student loans are killing me, my student loan actually tried to kill me. Now, the crazy thing is, I went here. The Marine Corps paid for Harvard. Now, people outside the Harvard community seem to be very impressed by that. But I say, look, before you're impressed by me, let's just take a moment and let's follow the trajectory of my life. Harvard, then the Marine Corps, then stand-up comedy. I basically took my parents' hopes and dreams and I chipped away at them one jaw-dropping decision at a time. You guys want a dose of humility? Try going back to your Harvard reunion when you become a stand-up comic. Those are wonderful conversations. It's like, well, what do you do for a living? Well, I run a nonprofit organization, and we supply blood to children in need. What do you do? Oh, me? Well, I run a nonprofit career. And I've sold my blood for money, so maybe we've worked together before. Now, the only piece of advice I can give you, my young brothers and sisters, when you get out there in the real world is that life is full of challenges, so you just got to lean in. You got to lean in, and you have a little experience about that, right? You guys had COVID during your college years, so you understand what I'm talking about, but it keeps going, no matter how old you get. I'll give you an example. Recently, I had a long-term relationship breakup, right? Very difficult, but it's an opportunity for growth. That's how I look at it. Opportunity for growth, and I know a lot about growth. In the last 5 years, divorce, pandemic, unemployment, bankruptcy, broken heart. Honestly, I'm sick and tired of becoming a better person. But you can't skip the steps, I'm here to tell you. Like my ex-wife remarried right away after I got divorced. All of a sudden, my son had a stepdad, which is fine, but I wasn't prepared for the visual. Like my son had a basketball game. They showed up to the game with his mom and the stepdad, and they just looked like a happy little family. And I just looked like an uncomfortable man lurking near them. But I'm not an angry man, right? I'm a big man. It's an opportunity for growth. So to support my son, I showed up to the next game with a T-shirt that said, Parker's Real Dad. It's hard to be a comedian and a parent, I'm not going to lie to you. But we have two different parts of our brain that are both highly developed. We have a comedy brain and we have a parent brain. And what happens is sometimes is the comedy brain will leapfrog the parent brain and make a decision that parent brain should have been the one on duty at the time. Like when my son was really little, he lost a tooth and he was really upset. And he came to me and he goes, Dad, will the bleeding stop? And of course, as a parent, you're like, you're going to be fine. And the comedian in me was thinking, you might want to get your affairs in order. Remember what happened to your brother? And he was like, I had a brother? It was a great joke at the time. Life is full of challenges, and you parents are in a different place than me, right? Your challenge is to launch these young men and women into the world. I have a 13-year-old boy in my house. My challenge right now is his obsession with cologne. Yeah, and I'm not talking Axe body spray. My son is into cologne. He knows everything about cologne. He knows the perfect daytime fragrance. He knows the perfect nighttime fragrance. He knows what to wear on an afternoon at the beach. He knows what to wear cozying up by the fire. He knows the finishing notes of a cologne. My son knows everything there is to know about cologne except how not to wear too much. I have one child, one kid, yet I wake up in the morning and my house smells like I live with 5 desperate middle-aged men. I once retreated into my kitchen and chopped an onion for self-defense. I tried to light a candle, but fire requires oxygen, and there's no oxygen in my house right now. I haven't seen a spider in 6 months. It's intense in my house. And his friends are into it too. They're all, and you know why? Because they listen to TikTok. They listen to the fragrance men of TikTok teach them about the hot new scents they just have to have. So they all want to go to the mall to sample cologne. I took 4 13-year-old boys to the mall to sample cologne. They went to every single department store. They found every single cologne. They put all on their bodies at the same time, and then they all got back in my car. I thought I was going to die. If I could bottle that moment, I would call it suicide in Sephora. And somebody asked me to describe my son the other day. I said, well, he's like 5'9", 140. And they go, no, what's he into? I said, oh, well, he's into cologne and clothes and money and gold chains. And I'm listening to myself describe my son. I'm like, he is like a fur coat away from being a pimp is my son right now. And he scared me the other day. He goes, Dad, I know I promised I would never do this. And I'm like, oh, God, what? He goes, I think that my hair is long enough to grow a mullet. And I said, all right, well, stand back to be mocked, son, because the world is a cruel place. And you better figure out what you're going to say, because I know what I'm going to say. If somebody makes fun of my son in my presence for having a mullet, I'm going to say, That is not my son. Life is full of challenges. Like right now, I'm a single man, once again in my 50s, thrust into the dating scene. Didn't see it coming, and I haven't even dated. I don't know if there's anybody in my situation right now. I haven't even dated. I just opened my heart to the idea. All I did, I just Googled over 50 singles, and Google came back with, did you mean over 50 with shingles? I'm like, no, why? And then I'm thinking, what about my Google search history? Made the algorithm go, well, he can't mean women, so let's just go with disease as his first choice. And then to make it even more fun, in the same week I became single, I got an email from my local senior citizen center inviting me to check out the facilities. I'm in my 50s, for God's sakes. I'm not a senior citizen. I'm out there. I'm on the scene. I'm dating women with shingles. I'm a busy man right now. But I love coming here with you guys because it's so rejuvenating to see the students and see the campus, to see the generations here gathered in one room to celebrate your accomplishments. It's so exciting for me, and I love it because, the generations who got to figure out how to talk to each other, even though we have a little bit of different language. Otherwise, it gets uncomfortable sometimes. I met a young man about my career, right? He's a comedian, young man. He was excited to meet me, so he came up to me, and he went in for the fist bump, but I went in for the handshake. I physically caught his fist with my hand and wrapped my fingers around it and then held it for an uncomfortable second because I didn't know what to do with it, and I thought letting go early would appear homophobic. So to save the moment, I said, paper beats rock, better luck next time. Hey, what do you say we give out some awards here today, ladies and gentlemen? How about that? Yes! This is always a wonderful evening to be a part of, and I have the honor of emceeing tonight's Senior Letter Winners Dinner on behalf of the Harvard Varsity Club, which was founded in 1886, and in short, is your team for life. And the Harvard Varsity Club's mission is to preserve the traditions, foster the ideals, and advance the interests of Harvard athletics. And before we dive into the awards and the prizes today, I want to share a little bit about background about the selection process. Now, the seniors that will be honored here tonight were nominated by coaches, athletic administrators, resident deans, senior tutors, and others from around Harvard's campus. Selection committees then met independently to determine the award finalists and recipients. And now I, as the Master of Ceremonies, get the pleasure and the joy of handing out these awards to well-deserving individuals tonight. Now, if you would like to learn more about some of tonight's award finalists and recipients, please scan the QR code that is on the back of your program. You can find complete bios, lots of wonderful information about the finalists. There's just so much great information. We don't have time to share it here tonight, but please take the time to do that. These are amazing young men and women who've done some amazing things during their time at Harvard. We do ask, though, that all finalists stand tonight when your name is called. Now, I've seen some of the names of the finalists here tonight, and many of you have many beautiful names from all around the world. And it is my greatest hope that the names that come out of my mouth are remarkably similar to the ones your parents gave you. So the award recipients will now have the pleasure when they win to come up on this stage in front of your closest friends here at the Hockey Center, and you can see just how hot these spotlights can actually get. And of course, at that time, we're also going to invite your head coach to come up and take a photograph with you. And a final note about some of the housekeeping about tonight's show. When we present the final award tonight, I will ask that all the award recipients come back on this stage for a group photo. Simple enough? All right, you guys want to give some awards out? Let's get some awards out here tonight. This is my favorite part. Now, tonight we will open with the John P. Fadden Award. It is named in honor of the late John Fadden's service as an athletic trainer and friend to the Harvard student athletes. This award is given annually to a senior varsity, JV, club, or intramural student athlete who has overcome physical adversity to contribute to their team. Now, the finalists for the Fadden Award are...
The finalists for the John P. Fadden Award are Jayshul Achiampong, men's track and field, an engineering sciences concentrator in Courier House. Tyler Neville, football, an economics concentrator in Lowell House. Phil Canigliaro, wrestling, an economics concentrator in Lowell House. Mazarine Bros, field hockey, a history concentrator in Winthrop House.
This year's recipient of the John P. Fadden Award is Cheshul Achampong. Cheshul is the team captain and a second-team All-Ivy honoree in the indoor long jump. He sustained a back injury that kept him out of competition for several months. Returned to competition this spring with back-to-back top 5 finishes. He was also a member of the 2023 Ivy League Outdoor Track and Field Championship winning team.
Okay. Dang. All right. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Come on. I wrote out some things that I'm going to say, so if I look at my phone, that's why. First things first, I want to thank all the coaches. All my coaches currently are at nationals because our track team is like that. But all the athletic trainers, whoever else is here, thank you guys so much. I realized today, funny enough, that at least this season, I've spent more time at the athletic trainers than I have with my physical coach, just because I've been battling injury after injury. And I think like the most important lesson I think I've learned from all this, right? Because the award is after like persevering through stuff. This school, this track stuff, this athlete stuff, it's difficult, right? Like, you know, putting in hours at the track or hours at your field or wherever you're at, then going back, doing the P set, all this stuff, it's difficult, it's hard. And at the end of the day, if you don't take a break, life is gonna force one. I've gone through 6 seasons, 7 injuries. Each one you battle back, we get after it, right? But sometimes as athletes, we need to give ourselves some grace. We gotta, you know, breathe a little bit, you know. The P set will get done. You'll get that sack, you'll get that tackle, you'll jump as far as you need to jump. Just sometimes you gotta slow down to take over the world. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jason. Thank you for that awkward hand, rock, paper, beat, scissors situation. It's just comedy in action right there, my man, comedy in action. Okay, transitioning from an award celebrating students overcoming physical adversity, we move on to an award that celebrates any adversity, or rather weaknesses, that our coaching staffs may have. For these, the sporting gods have created the managers. Many of your peers have worked tirelessly right beside you every day, but didn't get to suit up or hear their name on the loudspeaker, your beloved team managers. The Carol F. Getchell Manager of the Year Award is named in honor of the late Carol Getchell, who was the longtime business manager in the Department of Athletics. The award recognizes the manager in the senior class who has best displayed integrity, courage, leadership, and ability. The finalists for the Getchell Award are...
The finalists for the Carol F. Getchell Manager of the Year Award are Heaven Lee, Women's Tennis, a History and Literature Concentrator in Elliott House. Keeling Baker, Men's Tennis, a Government Concentrator in Quincy House. McAllister Homburg, Men's Basketball, an Economics Concentrator in Forsheimer House.
This year's recipient of the Carol F. Getchell Manager of the Year Award is Heaven Lee. Heaven is a 2-time manager for women's tennis. She was instrumental in the successful celebration of Harvard women's tennis 50th anniversary celebration, this year playing a crucial role in filming interviews for the anniversary documentary, organizing post-match receptions, and serving point, pun intended, on the 50th anniversary dinner at the conclusion of the weekend matches.
So as you may guess, a student typically has played the sport they manage competitively. So I guess it makes sense that when asked why I would be the women's tennis manager specifically, it was pointed out that I do not necessarily have the build, as though I could never have been a tennis player in this life, my past ones, or the next. When I am inevitably seen wearing Harvard women's tennis merch, I've been stopped and asked by my own friends, if I play, and before I could get anything out, had the question answered for me, saying that I spend way too much time in Elliott D. Hall to be an athlete. Unbeknownst to me, there were a few things that gave away that I am a non-athletic Harvard person. But I must say, after having my stature and time management skills attacked, I realized that these comments, though unprovoked, were not an affront to my character, but a testament to what it means to be a great Harvard athlete, to be a winner in every sense of the word. I watched in admiration on the court and in the group chat as they support one another in difficult times, shift their lives to be good teammates, serve the community, and commit themselves to do early morning workouts. Between you and me, I could only ever muster up the energy to do one team workout at 10:30 a.m., but I will hold it very close to my heart, and if not there, then in my body, because I don't think I will ever forget that type of soreness. In short, I am truly honored and would be remiss if I didn't end with a string of thank yous. So to my mom, grandma, and baby brother who are here this weekend, thank you. To the women who made my job easier and fun, thank you. Coach Green, Coach Kari, Dacia, I cannot tell you how much I'm going to miss the quiet satisfaction of changing the scoreboard after so often winning the doubles point. And I want it on official record that, Debbie, I'm going to miss yelling with you all the time, so thank you for that. And Solomina, who was the manager before me, thank you, thank you. And to whoever left a Lululemon jacket among the pile of tennis merch that accumulated over the years that I grabbed on my first day to clean out the office, wherever you are, I owe you my life.
Congratulations, Heaven, one more time. Congratulations. Thank you. I love someone who freely admits they get up at the crack of 10:30 a.m. I love that. Now, Harvard athletics, perhaps more so than any classroom on campus, provides the training ground to develop the qualities and characteristics shared by many great leaders. Teamwork, resilience, and caring for others are just a few of the leadership abilities that Harvard student athletes develop every single day. Now, we are thankful to have a great leader at the top who has seen us all through one of the most trying and difficult times in the history of Harvard athletics, the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, we will hear from Erin McDermott twice tonight, later in the evening. She will share her thoughts on the class of 2024. For this visit stage, the John D. Nichols 53 Family Director of Athletics, Erin McDermott, will present the Director's Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Erin McDermott.
Good evening. As was said, I'll speak a little bit later, but I am here right now to announce our Director's Award recipient, and this is an award that I kind of get to just choose all on my own. So this award is not presented each year necessarily. It is reserved for individuals who, as they demonstrate a pursuit of excellence, display exceptional leadership, personal character, integrity, and a commitment to our mission and values. This year, the honoree was obvious to me, and that is Erin Shirley. Erin was truly the MVV, most valuable voice for student athletes, with faculty, campus administration, and with peers. He was a member of the Faculty Standing Committee on Athletics for 2 years, providing valuable student perspective on many important academic and residential topics. He served as a panelist for the inaugural first-year student-athlete orientation. He was a respected peer leader in every aspect of his Harvard experience. Erin was selected as a peer advising fellow to the advising programs office and was a peer counselor for the past 3 years. His track and field teammates selected him as a captain, a sport of many, with a full academic year with a 2-season commitment. All of this and more while he completed a joint honors degree in history of science and sociology and wrote a senior thesis entitled Holiness to Wholeness, Restoring Medieval Surgery to its Religious Cultural Context. Aaron Shirley is a rising star who brightens every space he enters with his smile and his energy and his presence. We will miss him, but we know the world really needs him. Aaron couldn't be with us tonight because, as was mentioned, he's competing at the NCAA Regional Championship, but we have a video recording of his acceptance that I'm sure will prove my words true. Everyone, Aaron Shirley.
Hey folks, I'm so honored to be this year's recipient of the Director's Award. I'm sorry I can't be there, but congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to the seniors, we did it. When I was thinking about this award and looking back on my time here at Harvard, it's been a wild one. And I've really been contemplating the idea of track being an individual sport. It's true, I'm the only one who gets in the blocks. It's true that usually in my event, 4 hurdles, nobody else is in my lane. But there's so many people who have brought me to the line. There's so many people who have made this sport a team sport. I'm thankful to my coaches. I'm thankful to everybody who's laid hands on me, treatment, the AT room. I'm thankful to all the administration that lets these things happen, our travel, our food, fueling us and keeping us going. And I'm really thankful to Aaron McDermott for leading us through a crazy 5 years. I'm a super senior, so a crazy 5 years of being a student athlete here at Harvard. I've realized through track and field, through this individual sport, that Harvard's a team sport, and there really is no individual sport. And so I'm thankful, I'm honored, I'm blessed, and I really have no words, but thank you.
Congratulations, Aaron. That's very impressive. One take. A guy who says he has no words. That was brilliant. And well done, Aaron. And thank you, Aaron. Thank you very much. Now, there are a few people sitting with Aaron at her table right here in front of me who are deserving of some special recognition. And top of that list tonight is Susan Thabit. So you know those beautiful letter sweaters that you received from the Harvard Varsity Club? Well, you can thank Susan and Corey Thabit, class of 90, for making tonight's dinner extra special and for those sweaters. So thank you very much, Susan. Thank you. Size medium, in case you forgot. Now, our next award is presented in honor of the 41 years of service the late Fran Tolan dedicated to Harvard athletics. Today, the Francis J. Tolan Community Service Award is presented to the senior student athlete who has made the most outstanding contribution to Harvard and its neighboring communities. Our finalists are...
The finalists for the Francis J. Tolan Community Service Award are Kweku Opang Adubafor, football. A neuroscience concentrator in Elliott House. Sasha Constance, women's water polo. A psychology concentrator in Forsheimer House. Olivia Cooper, women's volleyball. A neuroscience concentrator in Courier House.
This year's recipient of the Francis J. Tolan Community Service Award is Kweku Opang Adubafor. Kweku was selected as one of 15 finalists for the FedEx Ground Doris Robinson Scholar Athlete Award, which is presented to the student athlete who excels on the playing field, in the classroom, and across the community. In addition to his time on the football field, Kweku has spent time volunteering with both the Harvard Square Homeless Shelter and the emergency room at MGH.
I got something on my phone too, so nice. How's everyone doing? So first and foremost, I want to thank God for all the opportunities I've been given. And then secondly, my teammates, like my brothers for life. I appreciate everyone more than everything. All the athletic trainers for keeping me healthy, even though I had a few injuries. And then my coaches. I don't know if how many people know this, but I walked onto the team, and my freshman year, I was always given the opportunity to try to prove myself and make an impact equally with everybody else. So I want to thank Coach Murph, Coach Johnson, Coach Horan, even though he left, and everyone else for giving me the opportunity. But finally, my mom and dad, my sister, who's not here right now, my mom and dad, they have sacrificed so much to get me where I am right now. I'm an immigrant from Ghana. We came here in 03, I should say. And shout out, Rachel. Immigrant from Ghana. And we left our family there to come to Philadelphia. My dad was a civil engineer when we first left. When we got to the U.S., he changed his whole career path, started working at an airport because they wouldn't accept his accreditations from Europe. Working in an airport, packing the airplanes with bags. Then he went to pharmacy school and became a pharmacist. My mother herself, she came to the U.S., became a CNA, then became an LPN. And even right now, at this age, she's, with the help of my dad, going through nursing school again. My whole life I've had the opportunity to see my parents work hard and be dedicated and be generous. So I hope that one day when I have kids that they can look up to me nearly as much as I look up to my mom and dad. So with that, thank you.
Congratulations, QAQ. Well said, young man, well said. Our next prize is the Pageant Prize, named in honor of Mary Guest Paget's many years of service as Director of Sports, Dance, Recreation at Radcliffe College. The Mary G. Paget Prize is awarded annually to the senior student who has contributed the most to women's athletics. Our finalists for the Pageant Prize are...
The finalists for the Mary G. Paget Prize are Ashley Wang, Women's Volleyball, an Applied Mathematics Concentrator in Courier House. Callista Scoris, Women's Lightweight Rowing, an Applied Mathematics Concentrator in Leverett House. Gabriella Del Pico, Women's Soccer, a Government Concentrator in Cabot House.
This year's recipient of the Mary G. Paget Prize is Gabriella Del Pico. Gabriella is the co-founder and two-time president of the Harvard chapter of Athlete Ally, an organization dedicated to creating a safe space for LGBTQ+ individuals and allies. She received the 2023 Action Award for the work the chapter did. She's also been named First Team All-Ivy, Ivy League All-Tournament Team, and an Academic All-District Selection.
Okay, thank you so much for this incredible honor. I'm very deeply grateful, along with the other nominees who are also incredible people. If you told me my freshman year that I would be as vocal as I am today within women athletics about the LGBTQ community, I would have not believed you at all. I was very shy. Most of my teammates know that I was practically mute my freshman year, but I wouldn't be able to have grown into the confident woman I am today without my incredible family and my teammates. I also want to thank my coaches and Nathan Fry and their unwavering support and commitment to allowing me to help change the environment of not only my team, but all of the teams within Harvard Athletics to be more supportive for LGBTQ students within our community. And I would definitely like to extend a special thank you to Erin West, who helped me start Athlete Ally. And her dedication to each student has been absolutely incredible, and I'm very lucky to not only have her in my life as a mentor, but someone who I consider a very good friend. Lastly, I want to express my gratitude to my best friend Laura, Caitlin, and Keely, because without them, Athlete Ally wouldn't have existed, and I wouldn't have been able to have the impact I did on our community. So thank you all again for this great recognition. I'm very, very grateful and very, very proud.
Keep it going, Gabriella. Congratulations, Gabriella. Now, speaking of making contributions to women's athletics, I now have the honor of welcoming to the stage a former two-time Harvard women's hockey captain who dedicates a considerable amount of her time and energy to the Friends of Harvard Hockey, Harvard, and the varsity club, currently serving in her second term as president. Please welcome to the stage a classmate of mine from the great class of 1988. Please welcome Johanna Boynton. Come on up, Johanna.
Or the era. No matter the gender or the race. Special teams all share one thing in common: a bond, a feeling of camaraderie, of brotherhood or sisterhood that lasts more than a season or even an entire college career. It lasts a lifetime. Since 1886, the Harvard Varsity Club has been a special team. Through events and programs, the Varsity Club celebrates, supports, and connects Harvard athletes and their families, past and present, while preserving the traditions and fostering the ideals of Harvard athletics. Harvard Varsity Club, your team for life.
Good evening, everyone. Jim, thank you for that nice introduction. I'm JoJo Boynton, class of '88, the great class of '88, president of the Harvard Varsity Club. And we hope that you are enjoying one of our signature events, the Senior Letter Winner Dinner, that we love, love, love to put on. And this dinner has changed dramatically over the decades. It was not this production in 1988. And it's a way for us to say thank you to all of our seniors, your families, your coaches, for all the thrills and joys that you have provided us. And this is really a special time to just focus on you and really honor all that you've done. I also want to thank Erin McDermott and the strong partnership between the Department of Athletics and all of you who are here. Thank you. With the athletics, with the Varsity Club. And of course, I just want to take a second to thank the people who pulled this off, the Varsity Club staff, Taryn, Meredith, Casey, Trevor, and our own Broadbent Family Executive Director, a fellow member of the great class of '88, Bob Glatz. So thank you for indulging me 1 minute before you get to the rest of the awards. Because we're often asked, like, what is the Varsity Club? What do they do? And as you've heard some say, it's founded in 1886, so a long time ago, with a mission to preserve the traditions and foster the ideals and advance the interests in Harvard athletics. The way I like to answer the question is, the way our motto is, it is your team for life. So if you think about that, what does that actually mean? It means that the Harvard Varsity Club is a team you join, all you athletes, student athletes out there, really from the first day you step on campus, but all through your life. And how do we do this? Well, we do it in a number of ways. Obviously, preserving these traditions and fostering these ideals for over 100 years. And as we've evolved, we found new ways to do it. We build, we maintain and deepen our relationships and our shared experience. I played ice hockey decades ago, and I know still the intensity and beautiful things that come out of that experience and what you contribute. We have the Hall of Fame dinner. It's inducting some of the greatest athletes at Harvard, and hopefully one day, some of you. We do community building events, including golf tournaments in California and Massachusetts, receptions around the country, tailgates, reunion receptions. We like to have fun. And we support our current and recent grads through the Career Service Database and networking. So it's all the student-athlete alums coming together to support each other. And one thing I just want to bring up that I think we are really most proud of are there are two funds that have been developed over the course of being part of the Varsity Club that support Harvard Varsity alums. Sorry. One is called the Michael Vollmer Fund. And Michael Vollmer was a 1990 graduate of Harvard. He was a football player who was diagnosed with ALS in 2003. Learning of the news of his diagnosis, Mike's teammates and family and friends set up a trust to assist with the deep costs associated with fighting ALS, as well as to help Mike maintain relationships with his family and friends and those dear to him. After a 13-year battle, Mike died on August 29th, 2015, and those that had established the fund, the trust, transferred those funds to the Varsity Club, and this allowed us to establish the Mike Vollmer Fund. which now supports any Harvard athlete through a grant mechanism who suffers from ALS or any other neurological disease. And the second fund, and some of you may know him, Ben Abercrombie Fund. In his first play as a Harvard football player in 2017, Ben, class of 2021, suffered a serious spinal cord injury. In the days that followed, the varsity club was able to establish a fund to support the costs associated with Ben's care, as well as any student athlete in the future at Harvard who may suffer from a serious or catastrophic injury while competing for the Crimson. And Ben currently stands as a beacon of hope, of grit, of warmth, exemplifying actually the absolute best of Harvard athletes. And Ben plans to graduate 1 year from today, which is super exciting and impressive. So this dinner is one of the ways that we celebrate and honor our senior student athletes who will graduate tomorrow. Very, very impressive accomplishment. Senior student athletes, you have contributed so much of your time and your talents, your competitive spirit to Harvard athletics, and we want to pause for a moment to honor and reflect on your amazing accomplishments and contributions. We all are filled with immense pride and admiration for your unwavering dedication and commitment to your sport and to our school. Over the years, you have demonstrated not only exceptional athletic prowess, but also remarkable resiliency, leadership, and integrity. From early morning practices to late night bus rides, you athletes have shown extraordinary discipline and perseverance. Balancing the rigors of training and competition with academic responsibilities here, that is no small feat. And you have managed to excel in both arenas. Your commitment to your sport has been evident in every game, in every meet, in every practice, in every moment of effort that you have put in, whether breaking records, earning accolades, or simply striving for personal bests. You've set a high standard for all who follow. And beyond your wins, your impact on our school and our community has been so profound. You've inspired your peers. You have made your parents and families so proud, contributed to a sense of school spirit, and served as role models for many, many young athletes. Thank you, senior athletes, for your incredible contributions to the Harvard community. You have made us so proud, and we are honored to have been a part of your journey. Your legacy will endure, inspiring future generations to pursue excellence with the same passion and determination. Tonight's ceremony exemplifies our mission at the Harvard Varsity Club: to maintain the values, to bring the community together, to have fun, and to deepen our bonds and experiences, and to be the place where every former Harvard athlete can come for support throughout your life. As our trademark reads, we are your team for life. Congrats to all of you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, JoJo. Thank you very much. Now, I know JoJo mentioned, she already mentioned one Bob sitting at the table, Bob Glatz, who gets enough attention already, but I would be remiss if I did not highlight, there are two other Bobs sitting at that very fun table. Bob Anderson, class of 1960, longtime supporter of the Varsity Club and this great event. And Bobby Joyce, 87, the current chairman of the Varsity Club. How about we get all three Bobs to stand and bob a little for us? How about that? Come on, Bobs. Okay, Bobby, you're done. Thank you very much. Yeah. There's always one Bob who bobs a little too long. Thank you very much. All right, let's get back to the awards. Now, countless Harvard athletics alumni, family members, and friends have chosen a medical-focused career path who work tirelessly each day to care for the sick and injured and more. And to those of you among us tonight who have dedicated your lives in service to others as member of the medical community, we thank you. How about that? Thank you very much to those of you who've made that choice. The winner of our next award may soon join your ranks. The Arthur L. Boland Award was established in honor of Dr. Arthur Boland's 40 years of dedicated service to Harvard athletics. It is presented each year to the senior varsity athlete who will be attending medical school and who best exemplifies those characteristics and qualities which were the hallmark of Dr. Boland's care for Harvard athletes. This year's recipient of the Arthur L. Boland Award is James Chen. Come on up, James. James walked onto the Harvard varsity heavyweight team and has competed with the team for 4 seasons. While at Harvard, James took 2 semesters off, one to certify as an EMT and then one to work full-time as an EMT. He will be attending Columbia University's Vagelos College of Physicians and Surgeons for medical school.
Thanks, guys. You know, after having made this commute across the river so many times, it's almost easy to forget how incredible it is to be where we are now. So congratulations, all of you, for making it here to Harvard and here tonight. And yeah, please. I will say for me, the further surprise, as they mentioned, is I hadn't touched an oar before coming to college. So while there's a deep history of people like me in the sport of rowing, Harvard is one of the few teams that has kept up this tradition of having walk-ons. And so because of that, I want to thank our coaches, Charlie, Pat, and Tom, for giving me this chance to be a part of this history. It's been great to be developed as a person and a rower, learning to be persistent, to chase improvement through consistency, and to push my own limits. These are lessons I'll definitely take into medicine, and they've been great. I'm also so thankful to my parents. Their love, guidance, and support brought me to Harvard and gave me all the opportunities I have now. So thank you so much. I know it wasn't always easy to see that the demands of rowing and the requirements for pre-med would be compatible, but I'm glad that we can say that it was the best of both worlds. But lastly, what ultimately made it so worthwhile was my teammates. To a person, everyone on this team truly is there rooting for each other, even if it makes it a little bit harder for us and raises the temperature for ourselves. And because of that, I've learned so much from each of the people in this program and truly have had a lot of fun in that process. So I'm honored to call you guys my teammates and friends. In his Oscar acceptance speech, Matthew McConaughey said that his hero is himself in 10 years. And boy, would 13-year-old me be amazed by where I am now. I'm looking forward to the next 10 years of building my future as a physician and chasing my potential. Thank you again to everyone who made this possible and so memorable. Thank you.
Congratulations, James. Congratulations. I don't know who's out there, but I had $500 that someone would quote Matthew McConaughey tonight, so thanks, James. I'm cashing that bad boy in. All right. All right. The Francis H. Burr Scholarship is the oldest athletics award presented by Harvard. First given in 1918, it is named in memory of the former football captain Francis Burr and is presented each year to 2 seniors from a men's team and from a women's team who live up to Burr's many remarkable qualities, including character, leadership, scholarship, and athletic ability. So this year's finalists for the Burr Scholarship from a men's team are...
The finalists for the Francis H. Burr Scholarship for a men's team are Remy Trollet, men's skiing, a physics and mathematics dual concentrator in Adams House; Aaron M. Shirley, men's track and field, a history of science and sociology concentrator in Quincy House; Logan Aaron Bednar, football, an economics concentrator in Forsheimer House; Lance Ward, men's track and fields, a neuroscience concentrator in Kirkland House.
This year's first recipient of the Francis H. Burr Scholarship is Remy Drolle. Remy is both an accomplished scholar and a skier. He is the NCAA champion in the men's 20K Classic, has competed for Team Canada since 2020, including the 2022 Beijing Olympics. He has achieved a stellar 3.97 GPA as a dual concentrator and plans to pursue a PhD in physics following his senior career. It is just so sad to see someone so unmotivated here today. Congratulations.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say thank you so much for granting me this award. It really means a huge amount to me to be standing here on the stage today. And I want to take advantage of the little bit of time I have up here today to just say thank you to the team that has been around me during my years at Harvard. So being a skier in Boston it's a pretty funny thing. And people always ask me how it's even possible, since there's really is hardly any snow here all winter. And just so you guys don't have to ask me, the answer is that there's a golf course over there that has a little tiny patch of snow most of the winter. But even when we're not on snow, the training from campus is pretty lousy. It's give and take, you know. And when I first came to Harvard, when I was trying to visit and decide what schools I wanted to apply to, I came in with a preconceived notion that there was absolutely no way I'd be able to succeed as a skier here. But then I met the Nordic skiing team. The thing that really stood out to me about the skiers at this school compared to the few others I visited as well is that right from the get-go, from my first visit, they really seemed to care about me as a person. Even though they'd never met me before, they were excited to show me what their life was like at Harvard because they're so passionate about what they're doing here every single day. And just seeing that made me realize that I had to try and make it here too. And so 5 years later, I think that what makes Harvard skiing and all of Harvard athletics for that matter such a successful program is that we're a community that is genuinely passionate about what we do, and we really love doing it. Of all my peers at Harvard, across all my classes and all the activities I've been involved in, I think that my peers in the athletics department have been the ones that have been constantly pushing me the hardest to work harder and become a better athlete, better student, and especially a better person. Beyond my peers, though, I've been fortunate to have amazing head and assistant coaches, strength coaches, and training room staff. So I'd really like to extend a huge thank you to those people and just anyone who's helped me along the way in ways big and small. Because around every strong athlete, there's a strong team, and I have no doubt that I wouldn't be so privileged to be standing here today if it weren't for my team. So thank you all so much.
Congratulations, Webby, one more time for Remy. Well done, young man, well done. And now the finalists for the Burr Scholarship from a women's team are...
Francis H. Burr Scholarship from a women's team are Audrey Young-Het Shin, women's swimming and diving, an environmental science and public policy concentrator in Adams House. Nicole Alexis Prescott, women's volleyball, a bioengineering concentrator in Mather House. Eliane Zahid, women's rugby, an electrical engineering concentrator in Quincy House. Isabella Gomez Yerten, women's golf, a mechanical engineering concentrator in Forsheimer House.
Congratulations to our second recipient of the Francis H. Burr Scholarship, Isabella Gomez Yerten. Isabella has balanced a rigorous engineering curriculum, including 10 to 12 hours of work outside the classroom, with a stellar golf career. She was an academic All-Ivy selection, All-Ivy first team, and won the individual Ivy League championship.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you very much to the Varsity Club for organizing this amazing dinner. I'm absolutely honored to have been placed shoulder to shoulder with Audrey, Nicole, and Eliane. You guys are incredible women, athletes, and people. So yeah, it's an honor. Thank you to my team, my coaches, for giving me the opportunity to come to Harvard. It's something that's not very common coming from Colombia, especially for my sport. But as we've heard up here today, it's an opportunity that is absolutely life-changing, and that has allowed me to grow into the woman that I am today. So I'm extremely thankful for that. Thank you also to my teammates who, throughout the past 4 years, and even before coming to Harvard, have made me feel like this is my home and this is the place where I can step into bigger shoes than I thought I ever could. I'm constantly inspired and motivated by you guys. So I really appreciate what you have done for me. Lastly, thank you to my family who are here today supporting me, for your consistent love throughout the years. Being an athlete is not easy, even if golf seems to be an individual sport. From the time you start, you have tens of people behind you, always holding your hand and guiding you. So thank you for all that you have done for me. Thank you to the athletic trainers and to our strength and conditioning coaches for keeping us healthy and allowing us to excel at our sports. And congratulations to all of the seniors here tonight who are graduating, and best of luck in what comes next.
Congratulations again, Isabella. Well done. Like the Reardon Award, the Harvard Radcliffe Foundation for Women's Athletics Prize, or HRFWA Prize, is awarded annually to the senior competing for a women's team who best exemplifies the qualities of excellent scholarship, character, leadership, and athletic ability. Our finalists for this year's top scholar athlete are...
The finalists for the Harvard Radcliffe Foundation for Women's Athletics Prize are Audrey Young-Head Chin, Women's Swimming and Diving, an Environmental Science and Public Policy Concentrator in Adams House; Ella Serrano-Wu, Women's Lightweight Rowing, a Bioengineering Concentrator in Winthrop House; Maya Ramsden, Women's Cross Country and Track and Field, a History and Literature Concentrator in Kirkland House.
This year's recipient of the HRFWA Prize is Audrey Young-Hae Chin. Audrey has excelled academically with a 4.0 GPA. Spent over 2,000 hours of volunteering with underserved communities during the height of COVID, and led her team to the Ivy League Championship twice, winning it once in 2022.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. It is such an incredible honor to be nominated alongside Maya and Ella, and to have this opportunity to address my fellow student athletes. First, I would like to say a huge congratulations to my peers. I know we have not had the most conventional collegiate career, but I am so proud of our resilience and of the diversity of experiences that we've managed to carve out of 4 or 5 years. We are standing at a bit of a junction now, about to relinquish that familiar title of student athlete that has accompanied many of us for as long as we can remember. It feels, at least for me, and I imagine for some of you as well, daunting at times. So I thought that with my few minutes up here, I would share a few words of wisdom from some of the wisest women I know, my teammates. In our pre-meet team meetings, a sentiment that is often shared is the idea that nerves are not only normal, nerves are earned. So, as I look around this room at my peers, if you're feeling some uncertainty in this moment as you look towards the future or the weight of expectations, just like before you step up to race or dive, know that you've earned those nerves through your hard work and your dedication, and that it's a great gift to be surrounded by people who truly believe in you. Class of 2024, I am so grateful to have spent these last 5 years training, competing, cheering on, and learning with all of you. Now, there are so many people who I would like to thank, and I want to start by thanking my coaches. Matt, Tracy, Amanda, Jordy, Dawn, and Steph, thank you for taking a chance on me, for giving me an opportunity to dive, to represent the Crimson, and for teaching me so much about leadership and about life. To Emily, Beth, and Anna, thank you for making the weight room an empowering space to get stronger. And to Jade, thank you for helping me rehab injuries, manage pain, and finish my season strong. To the HWST seniors, Sophia, Nat, Arb, Kate, and Vic, and to my fellow divers, Nick and Luke, I could not be prouder to graduate alongside you all. To the Adams House tutors, staff, and faculty, thank you for building a really special house community and for supporting both the athletic and the academic sides of myself. Finally, to my family, my mom and dad who are here tonight, and to my siblings, Alex, Elliot, and Annalise, none of this would have been possible without your support. I love you all so much. So thank you, Harvard Athletics, thank you, Harvard Varsity Club, and congratulations, class of 2024.
Congratulations again, Audrey, and very eloquently said. Wonderful remarks. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we would hear from our Nichols Family Director of Athletics twice this evening. It is now time to bring her back up on stage and give her a well-deserved break from the three Bobs at this table. I'm serious, it's time to give her a break. So, to share her thoughts and perspectives with all of us, please welcome back Erin McDermott.
The finalists for the John P. Reardon Men's.
I love my Bobs. I'll stay with you. I sat away from you, but I love you. Good evening again. Hello. I first just want to, there's been a lot of acknowledgments tonight, and I first just want to start with acknowledging my team, and specifically the leadership team that is made up of Christian Bray, Nathan Fry, Andrea LaPointe, Jerry Mahoney, Tim Trovel, and Adam Whitfield. So, thank you. And to all the members of the administration, it truly takes a team, and there are so many who work diligently to make us better and serve our students and our teams to assist you in your competitive aims and striving for excellence. So thank you to everyone who's here and who's not here. We have such an incredible team, and I'm so grateful every day. I also want to thank the incredible partnerships that we have that are really instrumental in doing our work and to do our best for you. And those are people in alumni affairs and development, and as they are always ever present, but seem to be a little behind the scenes where people don't necessarily know them, they are all here, Diane, Jennifer, and Jeff. Thank you so much for what you're doing to help our teams every day. And our incredible partner in human resources. I know not everybody thanks people in human resources, but Jen Callahan is an incredible partner to us, and she has just been, it seems like she's part of our department. And of course, the varsity club, as mentioned, the fearless leader in Bob Glatz, and really his A-team, as JoJo said, who orchestrate this event and so many more to bring us together as a community, to continue to bring you together as a community, and to really be the best that the Crimson represents every day. I want to thank our coaches. They are really just such the leaders of our department, and our coaches are what we call educator coaches. They are truly here, as you keep hearing from the students who come up here and talk about them. They are working every day, not just to make them better in their sport and as athletes, but to make them better as people and as human beings for when they leave this place, and to try to make them into a better version than when they arrived. And I'm so grateful of who we have on our team for our coaches. Go ahead. And some of the students have acknowledged their parents, and I do as well. I want to acknowledge all the parents who are here. As has been said, your sacrifices to have your children here at Harvard, to allow them to thrive at Harvard, we are so grateful, and we are just grateful for you entrusting Harvard in having them here with us. So to all our parents, I definitely want to give you a big round of applause. And another community that is just critical, just can't even put into words how much they mean for us, is all of our alumni and our alumni who continue to provide community for our student athletes, who continue to support Harvard athletics in every way possible, whether it's just helping us being here, pulling on the events that we do, to helping us even in just the operations of what we do. We just couldn't do anything at the level that we do without our very dedicated alumni and alumni. So thank you so much for those of you who are here. And lastly, I want to thank our seniors. You're a special group for me. Some of you started right alongside when I did, and the first time you saw me was probably on a computer screen or a phone, and I was saying hello, and you were probably hearing me tell you that we weren't going to compete in the fall, and that wasn't fun for anybody, and it certainly wasn't the way that I thought my time here would start. And we have come so far. We started out that year together, and in this last year, in this fourth year of time, we have had one of the most successful athletic seasons of all time for Harvard athletics this past year. So I want to thank you in your leadership of that. For anyone who doesn't know, we're actually sitting nationally for how all of our teams have performed across NCAA championships. We are sitting at 21st in the country for Division I. We are the highest ranked Ivy League school. I think Princeton's the next one at like 35, so whatever. Some of you are leaving us as Harvard captains. Many of you have competed in conference tournaments and championships, and some in national tournaments and championships. With victories, there are some leaving us as Ivy and conference champions, even fewer as national champions. We have All-Americans. We have academic All-Americans, as well as many who represent other prestigious academic honors, which is also such a special thing, especially at this time in the landscape of Division I college athletics, that we are so proud that you excel on and off the competitive fields, pool, court, venue of your sport, and you perform in the classroom. And that's the incredible experience that you can have at a place like this, and that we will continue to strive for. You can clap for that. the things that you have done for Harvard and for the Crimson, we honor you tonight. Through all of the turmoil that this year has brought to this campus and to Harvard as an institution, you were a beacon of light for this campus. You were a source of pride for this campus. And I've heard it from so many people, and you may not even realize, our interim president, Alan Garber, is following everything that we do. Our dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, that she's my boss. She has become one of our greatest fans because she is so inspired and used to be a volleyball player herself at Cal. She is so inspired by what you do every day. And the dean of the college, Rakesh Khurana, is a huge fan, and I know he comes to a lot of events, takes a lot of selfies with you that he posts on his Instagram, that he has always been an advocate, and I think this year in particular, we have been a highlight. So I just want you to know that you have contributed to such a great source of pride for the Harvard community at large, not just here on campus, but beyond our borders of campus. You deserve it. And I want to congratulate all of our award finalists and recipients tonight. You are truly stars that shined bright among other stars, and you deserve that recognition. We celebrate excellence, and we should. However, it's not all about the awards. It's not all about the championships. Remember the wise words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, that the true reward of a thing well done is to have done it. Through this Harvard experience as a student athlete, I hope you feel you are leaving us a better version of yourself than when you arrived. I hope that you feel that you have been part of something larger than yourselves, both as part of your team and as part of this Harvard athletics community that will always be your team. Be confident that you can thrive and lead in anything that you choose. In graduating from Harvard and building that resilience and that strength from being an athlete gives you an edge. Believe in yourself, always commit to the things that are most important to you, both professional and personal. Stay humble, and remember, there is always more to learn and room to grow. And also know that you will always be welcomed back to this home that you have at Harvard. As I leave the stage, a video tribute to our seniors will be on the screen. Thank you for such a special 4 years, or maybe 5, with the Crimson. Go Crimson, one Crimson. Thank you.
Harvard will celebrate a victory here at home.
Guess who's back?
Brilliant! The icing on the cake of a beautiful day, and the Crimson seal the deal.
Active crew rowing really long here. That's great to see for lightweight. Let's hear some noise, Elliot Briggs. Bring home your returning champion.
Maya Ramsden breaks the tape with a smile on her face and that finger pointed skywards. It goes! Gabe Putnam wins it.
Dominating performance for the Harvard Crimson, who take the Ivy League championship.
11 in a row for the Harvard Crimson. Harvard headed to the NCAA quarterfinals.
Harvard, the Ivy League championship here in 2023.
Your 2023 NYRA Division I champions are the Harvard Crimson.
Could he be the first Ivy Leaguer to win this title? Getting the laurels here at the 23 Cross Country Championship. Here in a packed Levites Pavilion, no shock that pretty much every seat is full. Harvard's looking for the win at the expiration of regulation time. That's it. It will count.
It's going to be very close. And it's going to be Mostek over McDonald.
It is out and Harvard wins on a Saturday night. Harvard, once again, champions of the Ivy League.
Hellyhem scores. Harvard leads.
Harvard is Princeton 1-0, and the Crimson go to the quarterfinals.
Throws up to number one as she goes across the finish line. NCAA champion.
It's the wrong way, and it's the match.
The 2024 NCAA fencing team champions.
You have a scouting report on Harvard. You have this kid circled. He has been 7-time Ivy League Rookie of the Week.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's Harvard just a touch over Washington. What a finish there.
Harvard Lacrosse Stadium. It is still jam-packed though. 3,000 tickets were sold to it.
It's going to be Harvard Radcliffe pulling out the victory. Harvard Radcliffe is on display as they approach the finish line and convincingly edge their way toward a victory here for a fourth race win this morning.
Neal slaps it to right, and a shoestring catch made by Payne. Anna Reed throws a no-no through 5, and Harvard takes game 1.
Welcome to historic Boston, Massachusetts for the 2024 ICSA National Championships.
Harvard celebrates a 7th national championship.
Strike 3 looking.
She 28 telling me I'm still a baby. I can live in Detroit like Skilla baby.
All right, what a great video that was. All right, we have a few more awards to give out this evening. Our next award, the John P. Reardon Men's Award, is named in honor of former athletics director and Harvard Alumni Association Executive Director Jack Reardon. It is presented annually to the senior varsity athlete competing for a men's team who exemplifies the qualities of excellent scholarship, character, leadership, and athletic ability. Congratulations to our top scholar athlete finalists.
The finalists for the John P. Reardon Men's Award are Nick White, men's soccer, a psychology concentrator in Quincy House, Lance Ward, men's track and field, a neuroscience concentrator in Kirkland House, Tom Horncastle, men's heavyweight rowing, an economics concentrator in Forsheimer House.
This year's recipient of the John P. Reardon Men's Award is Nick White. Nick was a two-time captain of the soccer team, and under his leadership, the team moved up in Ivy League standings every single year. Nick has been accepted into the Ford Dorsey Masters in International Policy at Stanford University, and will continue his academic journey there for the next 2 years. More time for Nick. Come on up, Nick.
Thank you all for this incredible honor. In particular, thank you to my teammates, coaches, professors, advisors, friends, and family. My time at Harvard would not have been as special and transformational without your support and guidance. To Coach Shapiro, Jordy, Harks, and Alex, you believed in me and had my back through the ups and downs. Thank you will never be enough. The men's soccer program is an excellent place because of your leadership, and I look forward to celebrating an Ivy championship from the West Coast soon. To Aaron McDermott, Nathan Fry, and Aaron West, thank you for everything you've done for me, the men's soccer program, and all of us in this room. Harvard student athletes are fortunate to have you leading our growth on and off the playing fields, rinks, and courts. Representing the Crimson has been an absolute privilege. I'll forever cherish my time on this side of the river. I wouldn't be the person or player I am today without the 50 Harvard soccer teammates I've had these past 4 years. You boys have become my best friends, and I'm grateful to call each of you my brothers. I'm also grateful to be a part of the Harvard Athletics family for life. Now, at the end of all of our time together, I wish us the best. I'm more than thankful to know many of you, and I can't wait to see all the amazing things we'll all do in the years to come. Thank you again, and go Crimson.
All right, congratulations, Nick, congratulations. And now we move on to our final 2 awards of the evening. The Radcliffe Prize is given annually to a member of a women's team who, through dedication to sport, qualities of leadership, and outstanding ability on the playing field, best reflects the purposeful achievement of Radcliffe alumni in every field around the world. It is reserved for our most outstanding athlete from a women's team. Congratulations to our finalists for the Radcliffe Prize.
The finalists for the Radcliffe Prize are Maya Ramsden, women's cross country and track and field, a history and literature concentrator in Kirkland House, Hannah Bebar, women's soccer, a government concentrator in Dunster House, Marbella Marlowe, sailing, a history concentrator in Mather House, Brogan Meyer, women's rugby, a human evolutionary biology concentrator in Mather House, Marina Stefanoni, women's squash, an economics and astrophysics concentrator in Kirkland House.
This year's recipient of the Radcliffe Prize is Maya Ramsden. Maya is a 2-time NCAA champion, a 10-time Ivy League champion, a 3-time Northeast Regional Track Athlete of the Year. Maya could not attend this year's festivities because she is currently in Lexington, Kentucky, competing in the first round of the NCAA tournament, but we have some words from her to share.
First, I want to thank Harvard Varsity Club and Harvard Athletics for putting on this event, and I'm so sorry I can't be with you all today. I'm in Kentucky with my team preparing for the NCAA Regionals this coming weekend. Last Saturday, I missed the Olympic standard by 8/100ths of a second. I was happy with the race apart from that, but it stung and is clearly at the top of my mind. My brother texted me saying, surely it won't matter, like a margin that small. But of course, in track and field, it does. My teammates and I operate in a world where every second and 100th of a second count. On the bright side, it's a world that has given me an acute sense of the power of time. It's something I'm feeling really keenly as a senior. I will likely have a few more opportunities to run that standard, But this week in Kentucky is likely the last that I'll spend with my teammates and some of my closest friends. I stepped off the track on Saturday and straight into a hug with my teammate Eleni, who had driven to come and see me and hang out. And the first thing she said was, "This will make your story better, coming that close." And that is the kind of person she is. It's the kind of kindness and the kind of emotional intelligence and camaraderie that this sport has brought me. Track and field is so often thought of as an individual sport. And it's true, most of the time you're putting one foot in front of the other by yourself, but it is far from lonely. I can't begin to find the words for what this team has given me. Lifelong friendships, wisdom. Teammates have taught me resilience, bravery, and discipline. Next year, I'm hoping to go into this whole running thing full-time without a team or in a different kind of way. And I've been reflecting a lot on why we do this. Athletics really are about these stories, as Eleni said. And I'm feeling just such immense gratitude to every single person at Harvard Track and Field that has been a part of mine.
Congratulations, Maya. Good luck. The William J. Bingham Award is presented annually to a member of a men's team who, through integrity, courage, leadership, and ability on the athletic fields, has best served the high purpose of Harvard, as exemplified by the late William Bingham, former director of athletics. Like the Radcliffe Prize, it is reserved for our most outstanding athlete from a men's team. This year's finalists for the Bingham Award are...
The finalists for the William J. Bingham Award are Henry von der Schulenberg, men's tennis, an applied mathematics concentrator in Forsheimer House. Remy Drolet, men's skiing, a physics and mathematics dual concentrator in Adams House. Will Grant, men's swimming and diving, a history concentrator in Elliott House. Thor Griffith, football, an economics concentrator in Elliott House. Lachlan McGranahan, sailing, a mechanical engineering concentrator in Courier House.
All right, a lot of love and support out there. This year's recipient of the William J. Bingham Award is Henry von der Schulenberg. Henry is a three-time first-team All-Ivy in singles and earned All-American honors after reaching the Sweet 16 of the 2022 NCAA Singles